If you've realised that benzoyl peroxide is too aggressive for your skin, or it worked for 2 to 3 months, but now your acne is coming back worse than before, you're here looking for an alternative. But here's the thing. The women who get the clearest skin aren't actually using the strongest acne products. In fact, many of them are focusing on something completely different, something most doctors or derms never even talk about. Today, we are putting the 3 most famous alternatives to benzoyl peroxide on trial: salicylic acid, Adapalene and Azelaic Acid. We're going to break down how they work, how they affect your skin barrier, and then we'll grade them on a strict scientific matrix of how well they get rid of acne. But I also have a harsh truth to expose. It's scientifically impossible for any of these actives to clear your skin for good. The acne will always keep coming back, and you'll feel trapped in this constant treating healing cycle, which is why I'm revealing a secret 4th benzoyl peroxide alternative that isn't something you can buy in Boots. Hi there. My name is Cheryl Woodman. I'm a scientist, acne expert, and award-winning skincare formulator, here to help you get back to your clear, calm, confident skin. Now, the first alternative to benzoyl peroxide acne treatment, I bet you might have used it in some acne products already. It is salicylic acid. This was the very first active I used when I was struggling with cystic jawline breakouts that made me want to hide. I started using it because I worked for the company that made Clearasil. So I was loyal to their 2% salicylic acid face pads like a snail is to its shell. Here's what you need to know. Salicylic acid is an oil-soluble active, so it has powers that help it reach deep into your pores where the acne plugs start. But before we dive deeper, before I reveal if salicylic acid is an effective benzoyl peroxide alternative, we must agree on the criteria we're using. So let me propose 4 to you. And if you agree, wonderful, you can keep watching. These 4 criteria are based on what I call the acne-causing triangle. If you have all 3 points of this triangle, you experience acne. If you do something that takes an eraser to one of these 3 points, you start to see clearer, calmer, happier skin. This is what the acne-causing triangle looks like. Up the top, we have unbalanced and excess sebum production. This unbalanced sebum is food for acne bacteria, and acne-prone skin types make way more of it. Just like studies like this one show, on average around 59% more sebum. That's a heck of a lot, right? Well, this excess sebum can then irritate your pores and cause the second change, hyperkeratosis. This is basically skin thickening, and it leads to what you and I call pore clogging. This then creates the perfect home for acne bacteria. They're sealed off inside your pores with all the oily food they could dream of. And that's when you start seeing visible breakouts. That's when you start to go from the occasional random breakout to consistently breaking out, to never feeling like your skin is clear for more than a day or 2, to not wanting to leave the house without makeup. This, my friend, is the acne-causing triangle, and it's our first 3 criteria for do any of these 3 benzoyl peroxide alternatives actually work? But there's one big part of this picture missing, a humongous part missing. It sits right in the middle of this triangle, and it's the initial trigger of all of these criteria. I call this the root causes of your acne. See, your oil-making glands don't just suddenly decide to start making more oil. They get told to start making more oil by changes that are happening deep inside your body. Sometimes it's hormones, sometimes it's gut health, sometimes it's nutrient deficiencies, sometimes it's, well, I'll save that for later. For now, know that the important takeaway is that criteria number 4, finding and healing the root causes of your acne, well, it's the secret to finally breaking free from this constant cycle of treating and healing. Because only when you get to the root causes of your acne, for example, the root cause of what's causing that excess sebum production, well, only then will your skin get consistently clearer, calmer, and happier. Only then will you feel confident to leave the house makeupless, which is what I want for you. So as we go through these most common benzoyl peroxide alternatives, I will show you why none of them scores 4 out of 4. I know it might make you want to cry, but I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to get you feeling confident in your skin again. And that's why at the end, I'll show you the only approach I found that actually confronts all 4 parts of the acne-causing triangle. Because this 4 out of 4 score is what explodes the acne triangle from the inside out. So you've not just erased a bit of one side, the entire triangle has been vanquished. That's what long-term acne healing actually looks like. And my friend, if you're feeling like you don't have a clue what's triggering your acne, grab your free copy of my 10 acne types guide. It will take you just a minute or less to find out what your combination of acne types is, and therefore what your likely acne triggers are. That's when you'll have the foundations for getting back to your clear, calm, happy skin. I'll leave the link in the description. So, does salicylic acid tick off all 4 of these criteria? Let's take a look. See all these green ticks. Salicylic acid is a great alternative to benzoyl peroxide because it can reduce sebum production. Whereas, shocking news, benzoyl peroxide has the potential to actually increase sebum production. Salicylic acid is also an exfoliant, which means it can help reduce hyperkeratosis. And yes, it can also help reduce some acne bacteria. And it can do this in a much better way than benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide is like a Dalek exterminating every bacteria in sight, good and bad. But salicylic acid, well, it helps reacidify your skin, and when your skin is at a happier pH level, that helps to stop acne bacteria overgrowing naturally. We love this. But there's one checkbox salicylic acid cannot confront, and that's the final box here: heals the root cause. Salicylic acid cannot, for example, balance your hormones or heal your gut or do anything inside your body. So although it can be helpful for treating acne, it will only ever feel like your skin clears up for a few months and then the new product just suddenly stops working. Your skin might start getting grumbly, breakouts start coming back, your skin might take longer and longer to heal. And before you know it, it might feel like your acne is even worse than before. Well, here's the secret. That's not a sign that the product is failing. It's a sign you haven't healed the root causes of your acne. This is why so many women think their skin is resistant to products. It isn't. The product was never designed to solve the thing causing the acne in the first place. But wait, what about Adapalene? Adapalene you might also know as Differin because it's one of the most popular branded versions of Adapalene. Adapalene is a retinoid, but not only that, it's what our scientists call a 3rd generation retinoid. And all that means is it's more advanced than your bog standard tretinoin. It's as effective with less irritation because it's much better at targeting the acne-causing pathways in your skin. Think of it as if you wanted to get some new summer wedges. Using tretinoin is like going to the biggest shopping centre in the UK, Westfield, London, and having to go inside every shop before you find the perfect pair. Whereas using Adapalene is like going straight to Shoe or The Office or June. It's targeted. If no one told you this before, will you hit like so more women looking for acne help see this? If you've done that, thank you so much. Now, time to find out if Adapalene is also an effective benzoyl peroxide alternative. Here we go. 2 ticks out of 4. But wait, there's something you should know. To be technically correct as to how Adapalene works, I haven't ticked the reduces or kills off acne bacteria box. But the overall benefits of Adapalene will ultimately naturally cause the acne bacteria to reduce on your skin. So Adapalene reduces oil production, and acne bacteria feast off of oil. So although adapalene does not kill acne bacteria directly, it can reduce their growth naturally. Adapalene's biggest strength and the ultimate way it works is to regulate the way your skin cells develop and ultimately exfoliate away, which is exactly what the science quote tells us. It hyper targets the keratosis leg of the acne-causing triangle, also nibbling away on reducing oil production, so your acne triangle gets really weak. But adapalene cannot get to the deeper root causes of your acne, what's actually triggering that excess oil production or the skin cells to overgrow. And because of that, it will feel like adapalene helps, but never fully clears your skin. Or it might work wonderfully for 2 to 3 to 4 months, but then it feels like it stops working and your acne comes back. Every time you switch from benzoyl peroxide to salicylic acid to adapalene to azelaic acid, you're solving the same symptoms in a slightly different way. If that's what you've experienced, click the subscribe button so you can get the science-based acne help you need. Okay, so next benzoyl peroxide alternative is azelaic acid. How do you think azelaic acid ranks up there? There are so many different azelaic acid formulas out there, all the way from prescription strength Finacea to that famous 10% suspension formula from The Ordinary. Well, here's how azelaic acid ranks. It's a solid benzoyl peroxide contender. Just like salicylic acid, it can help reduce sebum production, hyperkeratosis, and also cause acne bacteria. That means it's erasing away all 3 parts of the acne triangle. And bonus, just like this science quote tells us, similarly to benzoyl peroxide, azelaic acid does not cause bacteria to become resistant, which is important. We do not want those strong films of acne bacteria staging a hostile takeover of your pores. But did you see it? Just like salicylic acid and just like adapalene, azelaic acid does not get to the root causes of your acne. The acne triangle source, the bit in the middle of the triangle, it's still there, those root causes. That's why 5 years later, some women have a bathroom cabinet full of half-used acne products, but they're still breaking out. Imagine you left your hair straighteners on at home. This is actually a huge fear of mine. Well, there are things you could do to stop the risk of those hair straighteners burning down your house. You could put the hair straighteners on a heat protective mat. You could make sure they're sat on a plastic edge and there's nothing else in contact with the plates themselves. You could put on the air conditioning so it cools down the air a bit. But these are all things we can do to manage the risk, and they work, but they don't get to the root cause of the risk, which is the fact that the hair straighteners were left on in the first place. Does that make sense? This is why getting to the middle of the acne triangle is so important. And my Acne Warrior method is going to help you do this. My Acne Warrior method is a benzoyl peroxide alternative that can break you completely free from this constant treating healing cycle so many women get stuck in. If you feel like your acne never really fully clears for long, this is the different step you need to take, because focusing on which topical benzoyl peroxide alternative is best can only get you so far. So just wait till you see the amazing results I'm about to share. My Acne Warrior method works because not only does it reduce sebum production, reduce hyperkeratosis, reduce acne bacteria overgrowth, but it also, so importantly, helps you heal the root causes of your acne. It can obliterate them so your skin gets clear, calm, and glowy for good this time. Imagine waking up and your skin isn't the first thing you think about. How good is that going to feel? Now, do you remember that acne triangle and how when all 4 criteria are checked, sebum production, acne bacteria, and the root cause and hyperkeratosis, then acne can vanish completely. It's why my Acne Warrior method gets results like these. This is Victoria before and after Acne Warrior. She thought she'd never feel confident in her skin again. Then just months later, she was leaving the house makeupless. And this is Caroline, who was trapped in a constant cycle of all the topicals without seeing her skin clearing. Then she found Acne Warrior, and that all changed. She told me, your program changed my life. And then there's Masha, who struggled for years with these cystic breakouts that made it painful to even lie on a pillow at night. Then, within a month, she saw the difference, and now she rarely ever gets a breakout. The moment of bliss for Masha was getting random compliments from her friends on how good her skin was looking. Then there's Savannah, who found no help, unfortunately, from her doctor. Her cycles were also getting longer and longer, yet she was told her hormones were fine. She was getting married soon and just wanted to be able to trust her skin before her wedding day. A few months into Acne Warrior, and she told me she felt so much more in control and finally was feeling like herself again. She confessed that she felt so grateful to no longer have to think about or spend time picking at and stressing over her skin. And the best bit, her cycle normalized and she had the most wonderful wedding day with no worry about her skin. But unlike skincare treatments for acne that can stop working after a few months, these are results my acne warriors have maintained for years. And the only reason that's been possible is because the program helps you identify and heal what's triggering your acne. It helps you in a natural, supportive way to obliterate the center of your acne-causing triangle. So look here at this final scoreboard. We have Salicylic Acid scoring 3 out of 4, Adapalene 2 out of 4, Azelaic Acid 3 out of 4, and Acne Warrior 4 out of 4. Do you notice how none of these topicals like salicylic acid are bad, but how they're simply incomplete? They're just not getting to the whole of the triangle. So you might be thinking, okay, Cheryl, Acne Warrior sounds pretty amazing, but how does Acne Warrior actually work if it's not a skincare product? Well, it's simple really. Inside the program, we stop treating symptoms with medications or drying skincare, and instead we use the signals from your body, like excess skin oil, maybe heavy periods, maybe PMS, maybe bloating, to identify the real root causes of your acne. It's slightly different for everyone. Sometimes it's hormone imbalance, sometimes it's gut health, sometimes it's skin barrier, sometimes it's something else entirely. The important bit is, once we know your unique set of root causes, we build a healing plan around that. A plan of natural supportive changes that could include diet shifts, supplement additions, lifestyle changes, and a skincare plan. Ultimately, we will be working with your body to make your skin a haven for the good bacteria. That's how your skin is going to stay clear for a lifetime. If you want to know more, and if you want to join the program with my 90-day money-back guarantee, I'll leave the link in the description for you. So look, I know you've likely been struggling with acne for years. I know you've likely spent years of changing products, hoping the next active ingredient will finally be the answer. I hope this video has shown you why that cycle keeps repeating itself. The next step isn't another topical, it's understanding what's driving your acne in the first place. If you're ready to finally work on the cause of your acne, not just the symptoms, I'd love to help you inside Acne Warrior. Find the link in the description.